Welcome to another edition of Trump Bible Study. If it's 316, then it's, some kind of Tim Tebow Bible thing. This is the world's greatest Bible study, I know, because nobody knows the Bible better than me. Certainly not Sleepy Joe, who wants to ruin religion and beat up God and leave him homeless. And nobody knows this book better than me, and that's why we're going to look at, that's not like that. Okay, there it is. We're looking at probably my favorite book of the Bible. I know I'm not supposed to have a favorite, but probably my favorite. There's a book called Job in the Bible, and as somebody who created the greatest economy in the history of the world, Jesus, by the way, never had an economy this strong, okay? In fact, he was known for being sort of poor. So if anybody likes, me more than Jesus, it's God. He looks at me and says, I have a book called Job, and this man created the greatest economy in the whole world. So we're going to read about Job, and it's on page 538. So I don't know if Bibles are the same, but there's a lot of numbers on the page, but the one I like it says 538, and you just go to that page in your Bible. Job loses property and children. So sounds kind of weak. One day when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in the eldest brother's house, a messenger came to Job and said, the oxen, okay, fake animal, were plowing and the donkeys were feeding beside them, and the Sabeans, the people that fell on them and carried them off and killed the servants. Well, okay, that's kind of an exciting Bible verse. Killed the servants, very strong, with the edge of the sword. I alone have escaped to tell you. You never let anybody escape. That's what I can tell you. Because they'll run to Job and they'll tell him what's happening. While he was still speaking, another came and said, the fire of God fell from heaven and burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them. It's like God is almost like the China virus here. Just showed up and ruined the great economy and all the farmers, our great patriot farmers. While he was still speaking, another came and said, the Chaldeans sound Mexican. The Chaldeans, either way they sound very sort of Mexican, formed three columnas. There's an N. I think it's a misprint, God. I don't think there's an N in column. Columnas made a raid on the camels and carried them off and killed the servants with the edge of the sword. I alone have escaped to tell you. Well, they're all saying I alone escaped. They're very bragging. They're like so excited that they didn't die. While he was still speaking, another came and said, your sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house, and suddenly a great wind came across the desert. Oh, they were having wine and dessert. Struck the four corners of the house, and it fell on the young people, and they are dead. I alone have escaped to tell you. So they don't really say anything original. They're all I alone. You're all losers, it sounds like. Then Job arose, tore his robe, shaved his head. Oh, so he kind of went alt-right, it sounds like. Okay, so we like Job. And worshipped. He said, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this, Job did not sin or charge God with wrongdoing. Once again, we respect God, because God sounded like a great landlord. He giveth, he taketh, he gives you and then he takes it away because he owns it. But Job, I thought he was going to, all these bad things happened. I liked the killing because I love killers, but it was all happening to all of Job's stuff. And then all these people come, I'm the last one. So you got to look at the people who escape. They might have been in on it. Everybody, I was the last one, I escaped. Are you sure you weren't in on it? I would have, maybe Job should have killed them as well. They might have been, might have been an inside job. They should call that the book of inside Job. Not that kind of inside job. And then Job is like very nice and shaves his head. But then he shaves his head. I thought he was going to become one of our strong alt-right people. But he doesn't. He just prays very weakly and did nothing wrong. And I think the lesson of this is that you have to be more like God and the killers, very tough, and not like Job, who's sort of weak. So great. I think that's a strong book. That's why it's my favorite book, Book of Job. You got to get a job and you got to not be weak like Job. So strong Bible, great faith, Second Amendment. We love it. We'll be back tomorrow with more Trump Bible study.